All right, everyone, in this video here, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to create and embed a new form into your WordPress website using Gravity Forms. Now, in this video, it's going to be a little bit longer than the normal videos because we're going to actually create a completely custom form, as well as creating a new page and then embedding that form onto the new page so we can go through the entire process step by step. So this one will be a little bit longer, but probably no less than 15 minutes or so in its entirety. So first off, like everything else, we're going to start in the admin dashboard area. Then we're going to come down to forms, and you can either choose new form in the drop down or new form or add new here. Now with Gravity Forms, they give you a ton of pre-built templates that basically allow you to kind of visualize kind of some other ways to be able to do things and how they would basically get those things set up. We're going to start with a blank form, and we're just going to enter in the title of this. So this is going to be an example form, and we're just going to go ahead and click create. You can enter a description. So if you have like a lot of forms on your website, the description becomes useful to be able to kind of explain what that form is for. But be careful what you put in there, because the description and title do display depending on your settings on the version of the website that your clients would end up seeing. So don't write, something like, this form is for dummies or whatever. I don't know. But in there. So the first thing that most contact or submission forms need is personal information, right? So we're going to scroll down to advanced fields. We're just going to drag over the name, first and last. Yeah, that sounds about right. We're going to come down. You can also choose prefix, so you can do like Mr., Mrs., whatever you want to put there, their middle name, junior, senior, whatever they want to put there. We're going to make this one required because it seems silly to have a contact form collect the name and then all of a sudden they don't enter in the name, but you have all the other information. So you reach out and you're like, I have no idea what to call you because you didn't tell us. Inside of that, let's say this is going to be well, let's just get more information from them, right? We need a phone number, and we're going to update the website, and we're going to grab an email address so you can combo it and create different size fields by just dragging them around. So you can see how it shrinks automatically as we stack all of the fields up next to each other. You can have them all in line if you want, or you can do a row structure as well. So you have a lot of options to be able to format it the way that you would like. Just make sure that it's very easy for the user to be able to navigate through your forms and understand exactly what they're looking at, right? So as we go through it, you see email, phone, we have the name, we have their website. Let's grab, let's say this is a dealer registration form, right? So we need their dealer information here. We're also going to grab we already grabbed the address. What else do we need for dealer thing? We'll probably need the file upload, right? For their tax exemption status. So we'll go ahead and drag and drop that over. Right now, this is only one file. We can make it required. I wouldn't if this is actually a dealer registration, because not all states require a tax exempt status or certificate. Now, most states will still provide you with one if you want it, because some vendors require it. But making this a required field could prevent people from submitting information to you. So typically, best practices for creating new forms are to only request information that you need in order to be able to move to the next step. The more stuff that you ask, the less likely it is for someone to be able to join and fill out the form information, because it's just personal information, right? When you go to a website that you're visiting and they're asking you 10 pages of information, you immediately are like, well, I know I am at least, no, I don't want to do any of that. I'm going to move on to something else and see if I can get my answer elsewhere. But if it's just the first name, maybe my email address, and maybe a field to ask a question or something like that, I'm more apt to fill that in than something else. And up here, let's say we want radio buttons. We're going to say this is type of dealer. I don't know. Choices are stocking dealer or a non-stocking dealer. And then we'll remove this option, right? So then we'll close. Now, the nice thing with this field is we can make this entire address conditional depending on this. So let's say the type of dealer, if it's a stocking dealer, we want to capture the address and make it required. If it's a non-stocking dealer, we don't really care. I mean, we do, but in this case here, we don't really care for the address. We don't need it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the address field by clicking on it. Then over on this side, you can see we're in the address field. We scroll down. Then we can make it required because we need to have it if it's a stocking dealer. Then underneath of advanced, what we do is we can come down and we can choose conditional logic. We're going to enable, and then we're going to say if the type of dealer is a stocking dealer, then show it. Otherwise, it doesn't. So we're going to save this form, and then we're going to come up here. We're going to choose preview so you can kind of see what we've built so far. So we have the name, which is required, email is optional, phone number is optional, website is optional. So obviously, if these are optional fields, just remove them off your form unless you have a purpose to ask for them. Make the forms as simple as possible for you to get the information you actually need, and don't clutter it up with asking a whole bunch of other things. But when they choose non-stocking dealer, nothing changes. When they choose stocking dealer, all of a sudden the address shows up and it's a required field that they need to fill out. So now you can go through and create dynamic forms based on the user's input and collect the information that you need depending on the information that they select. So in this case here, stocking dealers, we need the address. Non-stocking dealers, we don't. So we made a simple form right there to be able to tackle that one conditional issue. So back in the form area here, we've saved it. Now we want to embed it in a page. So we're going to embed, and you can see this is form ID 2. You can already add it directly by going into this and saying, okay, well, we're going to add it to the About Us form, and then insert, and it'll automatically inject the form into that page. Or you can do this, which is really cool, which is creating a brand new page right from this screen. So you don't have to go into the pages area, create a new page, and then just add the form to that page. It makes it much easier right from here. We're going to do the hard one where maybe you already had an existing page or it was in draft mode or whatever the case is. So we're not going to use this, but this is a great way to be able to create form pages easily, right, without having to leave this page. So we're going to copy the shortcode because I'm going to show you some variables that you can use inside of Gravity Forms that'll help you adjust how the form is displayed on the front end. So we're going to copy that shortcode. Now we're going to move over to pages. And since we haven't created a dealer registration page, we're going to go to add new page, and we're going to create the dealer registration. All right, dealer registration. So the cool thing with WordPress is they actually have a section here that you can choose your form. Here it is. The problem is I have no way to be able to remove this text off of here without deleting the entire thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that short code that we used earlier, and we're going to paste it in here. And you can see Gravity Form ID 2, that's what we saw earlier. The title is true. And then we can go ahead and publish. Now this is what the page will be looking like. We're going to open this in a new tab. So we have the title, we have the form. You can see here the address field isn't there. Let's check one. Yep, perfect. Non-stocking, it goes away. Excellent. So this is working. Now, if we come back over here, and let's say we don't really need the title because we already have the title here. There's no other content, no other context. Just like on our Contact Us page, we have the title twice. It doesn't really seem to work, right? So back on the dealer registration page, what we're going to do is we're going to edit this, and we're just going to change this to false. We're going to update, and nothing really on here changed, but if we redo this page, reload it, the title is gone. Now, there's another short little variable you can add in here, which is the description, and it's done the exact same way. So true. So the description, if we had one, would show up, and if we mark it as false and update, then it'll look just like this, where we do not have the title or the description listed. So that is the easiest way to be able to create a new form, make it conditional depending on what the user selections are. Gave you a quick information on what the best practices for forms are, and we ran through basically the nuts and bolts of your Gravity form. Once you have the form created, so the example form, just like in the how to edit a form, we do want to set up your confirmations. So this is what's showing to the user after they click submit. This is what they see. So once we go to notifications, this notification is sent via email to the admin email address on file, or you can add an unlimited number of notifications when this form is filled out. So you could send, in this case here, this is dealer registration form. You can send this form over to your dealer team. You can send it to your sales team. You can send it over to your CEO. So he just has, or they have a good understanding of whatever the case may be, of how many submissions are coming through or whatever might be your requirements. You can go ahead and add those in there. To edit those, you just go to the notification you want to edit. You can click on the name, or you can click on edit, and then you just go through and follow the steps. Run through. Each little option has a tooltip that pops up to kind of explain what this section is. These little areas over here are the variables or merge tags. So if you want to do the from name as the user, you can send it from your user, and we just change that and that. And then the admin email address, we can actually change that. I would definitely not recommend this, but you can change it to the user's email address. Now, with all of the new changes with email recently, this needs to be a fully validated email address that needs to be sent out, or you need to use a authenticated SMTP relay service. Our preference is using Postmark, and I'll get a video on setting that up next. If you guys have any questions, drop them below.